to Facebook, and I'll tag you, so it should show up on your page.
Okay.
Let's see here. Boom.
You can go live too. It's live on Facebook.
Yeah. It's about to be on your page right now. Oops. Hang on. Nope.
Can you say?
We'll get there. We got it. There it goes. All right, I just tagged you. Okay.
I'm a little bit slower, huh? You see it?
Yes, it'll get better. It'll get better. Just give it a second. It'll get better. Yeah. All right, let's kill the music. And okay, we have a very synchronistic show tonight. I got the days mixed up, and it was supposed to be last night at this time, but here we are. And we're with our beautiful sister. She's down in the Philippines. And we did a show last month, and like a lot of these shows, I'm doing one the following month because it feels like we need to have two talks, not one. But in the last, day and a half or 2 days, let me turn my, I was doing music earlier. Turn off that. In the last day and a half or 2 days, we've had over 30 medium flares and 4 X flares, and one of them was almost a 9, which is the second largest one in this solar cycle. Which I don't even know. I think that's many, many years, a cycle like that. But anyway, it's very profound. Everyone, the few people that I've touched base with, they're going through, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know if anyone can explain it, but it's a very, very multi-stream, multifaceted, multidimensional experience very quickly while you're in your human body at the same time. Which for me, I feel like I'm out of my body a lot of the time right now in this last 2 days. So welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for coming in and sharing space and honoring us with your presence.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what you just experienced. I experienced the same field, especially, like the first was already very exciting for our field because we had our baptism, meaning, we recognized each other again on a higher purified field, meaning um, now everybody starts to experience their own field, their blueprint, their memory, right? So what I experienced last night was, um, the work. When I work with people, I feel a lot of pain going through my body. So I'm working in the divine feminine as the Magdalene just now. It's a field I actually already left behind, but it's always like this. We never know because sometimes spaces open up again to explore again, and because something needs to be healed still in the unity consciousness now of the divine feminine. So what is this field there is actually the feminine, because in the Philippines, the church, like 300 years of church, they killed the feminine here as the divine feminine, which is free. So they put Mary, Mary as the Virgin Mary. So the feminine is virgin. The feminine doesn't speak up. The feminine is submissive. So that's not the divine feminine. That's just the spectrum of our field. So why Magdalene, that I'm here, comes up again, because Magdalene was the unseen, was the one which had the tantric field with Jesus, which actually Jesus could resurrect again in her car body, in his car body, in his full light body, through the spectrum of the energetical body of the Tantra, and all of the memories start to come back, and our people here, they start to remember me in that form, as well as the essence of the one which walked never seen, which walked never accepted, which walked not respected, because even the disciples Peter, John, and James, I'm experience so much reincarnation here in our people, and so they respect on, like, it's a reflection only of that version of when there was the masculine which couldn't give space to the healed feminine, which never actually had a possibility to express fully. So Magdalene, Sophia is the rebel one. It's the one which were told to be a whore, which were the rebel. Sophia, she created the darkness as well. But actually, it's not about that. It's about that the feminine in her full field wants to be seen again.
Yes. Yes to all of that. Thank you. And from what I can gather, after hearing your message, that when I said, "Are you going to be able to make it tonight?" and you sent me that message, I could hear it in your voice. And I think what you're saying with what you just opened the show with is that, first of all, you carry, like many of the sisters that have led this movement, you carry that essence which you speak so eloquently of. And in the last couple of days, that is really, I guess, like the focus point of your experience and what you're feeling. Do you feel like the feminine has reached a point to fully open? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
She feels
Yes.
safe enough to open and not fear anything, which must say something about the balance with the masculine. It must say
Yes.
something about that. It have to.
Yes, because I'm working with the masculine. I'm working with the embodied masculine as source consciousness, and as the full memory of this essence. And this masculine gave me the space in my full spectrum to be seen again, in my full spectrum to ripple it to the people which work with us, to give them their full spectrum again, not in jealousy, not in spiritual ego, not in a self reflection, because many of us hold a spectrum or a ray, but then a few only have the full embodiment, because that means the ego death, that means a physical death in my form. Actually, I had to die and come back as a walk-in. That doesn't mean to make some dances and some ceremony, and it's beautiful, yeah, when we play around, but this is not a play. This is the divine play. And so why does it ripple now? Because the masculine, the healed masculine, and the healed feminine now have to rise. That means they rise together. They rise together in a full spectrum. And the feminine, which had a full, like a rebel spectrum, was never heard. Why they all love the Divine Mother? Because she is just, the virgin, and she doesn't speak up. She blesses everybody. She's beautiful. She's pure. What does purity mean? Purity of heart. That's what we have to be. We have to be united again in purity of heart. And the shadow aspect of the humans now rise because of the solar flares, because these flares, they eliminate the last density in the physical body, the last density, what is not seen. So I'm here to really walk the path forward together, not separated anymore, masculine and feminine, in a healed version, in a loved version, but not uh, in a repressed version.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own experience and explanation, and and they're really saying the same thing, or more and more of us are saying the same thing. So what you're speaking of in your purpose, in your awareness, in your experience is, in my mind, what I'm experiencing, which has been either from one side or the other, the dance, the divine coming together of the masculine and feminine energies on the earth. So I feel like what you were speaking to earlier, and what we either have arrived to or that we are arriving to, like within the next 3 or 4 weeks, or you know, how that goes a little bit more every day, is the unification of those two energies. And so because of that unification, all the stories about how we arrived here don't matter anymore. They don't matter anymore. They're just the story. They were just the journey, because those stories hold the prejudices and biases and over-identification from the human condition. We are divine. We are in the flesh, which has never been done at this density. And so now those two energies can walk together. And this is way beyond two people or couples. This has happened inside of us. It's happening with our physical mirrors, and we're just getting started. And this is an important conversation, I believe. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yes, because you know that's what my memory was this morning. Why Magdalene and Jesus were in flesh, you know, and because they had to show, they walked the path, you know, in flesh to show, yes, there is a human body as well, and we give our that space, you know, for this new revelation. So that means, like, when we are in this healed version, and we have a unified energy without judgment, everybody ripples the same field, everyone, because that's the God spark. So every moment will ripple the field of Magdalene, of Mary, of Sophia, Isis, you name it, right? And every man will ripple the God, Source, Osiris. We have many names. We did already many things. Old
Yeah.
souls, we had.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm even going further than that. First of all,
Mhm.
I'm going to say, you know, like I've had a wonderful experience with the Mother Goddess, and my experience is a little bit different than what you were saying, but I know what you were saying about the Mother. But to me, the Mother is, nobody messes with the Mother. I mean, like, when the Mother says something, everybody does it. So that's, you know, I just want to make that distinction. But at the same time, I feel like what's really happening is that regardless of the physical gender that we have, we truly carry both, and it's not just words, because you can't be in your full divine feminine if you're not in your full divine masculine. If you have an imbalance within yourself, and that's just the truth. But I feel like we don't realize the level of ascension that we've reached, the level of internal, eternal unification and remembrance that we've reached. And now we're starting to share that code with other people. And it's in physical form. And so this is really, and that, those individual transformations and two by two are affecting the whole world as within, without. And so it's happening at warp speed. You know, it's like the hearts are opening up more and more and more. And because of that, let's just call it technology or knowledge or awareness, so many of the stories go away. So many of the identities go away. And we become, you know, we still remain our individual fractal, but we become more and more of the ocean. And that consciousness, to me, is what's overpowering all the narratives, all the traumas, all the identities, all the things that are happening in the world. We're not even paying attention to that anymore because we're all more present with ourselves and with each other, right? It's like we're coming out now.
Yes. Yes, because we are carrying the source code, and this is actually what's happening. You know, our full expression through our cellular system and DNA. So of course, there's many memories, but what we really are, that's the oneness, the one consciousness. So even, our star seed memory, our light language, our vibrational field, our essence, everything is changing. So who is ready to really take the path, only through a full open heart space? Because this is the only thing what's actually really needed. If you're still uh, using your brain, your mind to understand, it means the embodiment is not here yet, because the only space where you feel is the heart, and the only space where the fulfillment of everything, the unification happens between all humans, is that space.
Yeah, like no judgment, and you're right. If you or I, and I know you did, and I know I did, in the last 2 days, start hearing those things, those old tapes, those old audios, those loops. It's no judgment anymore. It's just like, oh, I'm up in my head. Let me just come into my heart. Now, how you do that, there's many different ways. I mean, there's so many ways we can do that, and we each are starting to do that. So that means that those consciousnesses, I would call them archonic consciousnesses, because to me, an archon is like a consciousness that grows, or its power is based on the belief in it, and it doesn't even exist. so if
Yeah.
we don't have those going, and we're spending more time. And I feel like this is what's happened in the last 3 months of last year and this year, is that in the last 3 months of last year, as much as we awoke and expanded, more and more people were spending time with themselves, in silence, in isolation, and now it feels like we're starting to come out, like we're literally coming out the other side. Like we went from the old paradigm, like say from 2012 to 2024, those 12 years from the Mayan date. And then we had like an integration or an incubation or initiations. They'll probably never stop. But we come out on the other side now, and we're starting to operate on this frequency that we found within ourselves, and we're now sharing with each other. And there's a lot of code there, like you said. This is where the new light language is. This is where the new intel is, the new code, the new energies, right? It's coming at the ground level, the boots on the ground, right? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's, the space where we're going now. It's the all knowing, the all being. And so that means that the identification falls off by itself, because it's not needed anymore. It's just the unity consciousness. And that's where everything will align naturally for all of us. And so it's just the trust to trust source, to trust that there is the the space where we are all held in full consciousness and full love, and that we never will fail, because God, or Sophia, Goddess, doesn't judge anything. So all of this breaks down now what the church, what the religions, gave, like the submission, the suppression, the judgment of that we are guilty of something but we are not even experienced yet. It's all falling off, because when we are fully aligning with source, that means we can't fail. We can't fail anything, because our heart space will be always pure,
Well, it's becoming
easy.
easier. It's becoming easier because, like I said, once you get to that point of that internal unification, and you can't fake that. You can talk about it, you can act like it, but but I feel like it's happened to a lot more people than the world knows. So when that happens, all those stories go away, and then I think from here, it's understand like okay, moving towards that space in trust and such is absolutely. I'm 100% with you. But each step that we take, we're the ones that have to do it. We're the ones that have to step in integrity. We're the ones that have to look at ourselves and say, I'm going to question this identity. I'm going to question my attachment to this or that. It could be a multidimensional past life. It could be a trauma from the past. It could be a connection, anything. So it's like we're that frequency, and you could call it many things, you know, masculine, feminine, divine, feminine, Christ consciousness, sacred sexuality, Holy Spirit, you know, but when we do this consciously, moment by moment, each time we do that, we're transforming this place. And it's nothing you're going to see on a podcast or in a movie, you know what I mean, or in the newspaper. But it is happening. There's many, many, many. I don't know how many. I think it's a lot more than 144,000, though, that are walking this earth, that are stepping into this space. And like my friend was saying the other day, it's also a space of giving up the need to know. It's that type of heart space or consciousness where it's not even a matter of trust. You're in this space, and therefore everything you need to know is right in front of you. And I think a lot of people are finding that out too, because they're starting to talk about the way the signs are coming to them as they live day by day, and what the universe is telling them as a reflection of their own projections. Yeah, it's wild times.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Like what I experience in my field is I have exact 24 hours to do one thing, to release one energy, to purify one field, to understand one essence. And the next 24 hours, it's already a total different field, because we are moving in, like, we are not identifying anymore. So that means we are just in the now. It means we are just in the reflection of the now and what is needed now. And when people come to us for healing or for knowing, it's because Source is giving exactly that field in order to open the space to purify, amplify, or have a reaction. So this is exactly what it is. This is the source field. And it's the most beautiful because it's adventure.
Adventure. Hey, coming to Earth was an adventure. I think a lot of people would. A lot of us have said, "I wish we hadn't come," or "I want to get out of here." but yeah. But this is like okay to me, like I don't even know what your experience was the last 2 days. I know what mine was. I know what a few other people's were. I've seen the post about the X flares and all the comments about it, and people are going through, or have gone through, a blast here. And with that blast has been physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, light body, etherical, everything. Everything has been brought in front of your face. It's all speaking to us. And I feel like it's just kind of a little taste of what's going to come the rest of the month, really, because it feels like in March, that's spring in the Northern Hemisphere, and then people talk about Easter, the fire horse thing is on the 17th of February. Like, it feels like we're ramping up to kind of take off. But in the meantime, we can't just say, la-di-da. We have to really pay attention to those things that are being shown to us on a very personal level, even if that just means feeling like I did this morning. I woke up this morning, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I was out of my body the whole day. And you have the mental judgment, and you have the emotional, and you just keep going through it, and it doesn't feel good. That's the work. That's what I think people forget to talk about. That's one of the main things that we have in common, is the human condition transforming and what that really feels like, because that's real code. How did you deal with that? How does that work? What did that feel like?
Yes. Yeah. So it's actually, this is the nervous system, because we have to balance the nervous system, because otherwise, all our, some people say chakra system don't exist anymore. Others say we have them. So I have the knowledge about when you work in the Siddha energy, you work first, you have to purify the inner, like the seven which are in your body, because in the body there is the fascia, there is the organs, there's the muscles, and everything is connected to this. So for me, it's obvious that first, we came in a physical body, we have to work on the physical body, and then all of the other chakras, of course, which are amplifying and open when you, it depends on your DNA string, on your capacity, 12, 24, 48, how you came as your blueprint, that shows you how much capacity you have in order to hold it in a purified version, and you can stabilize it for yourself and for others. Because now what do people need, which have no idea, which are just starting? They need stabilizers. They need, where can I go and I feel safe? What can I do when I feel out of body? What can I do when my kundalini rises, when light language starts to come, when my whole field is feeling like I have fear, I'm anxious because of the vibrational field is too strong, is too loud, is. So that's why we have the ones which walked the path before and have the capacity now, have to hold a stable energy field, because many, many, many will come for that, to understand and to just experience a safe field.
Yeah. Well, and if you're experiencing in the last 2 days, and I know many other sisters would probably say the same thing, and men, the experience I'm having, and that is we've reached this, we're either there or we're very close to this point where we pop out on the other side. And that's, that's something that brings on so many different old but new intelligences, which means we have to let go of the ones that we had, the language, the geometry, the math, all of that
Yeah.
goes away because it's a whole nother ball game. And the level of technology is above telepathy. So how do we know? And you said it right, the holding down the personal field, the vibration of the grid, holding this new vibration down while these things start to happen and people start to, do what you were talking about. But how do we know or not know that the level of intelligence that we've created in the field as a result of our personal transformations with nothing else going on, nothing about how we've served, nothing about what we've done as light workers or starseeds, but what we've done on an internal level between me and the universe, the transformation, the energetic force that's produced, and there's people all over the world that are doing this, and more are. So it's a type of intelligence that may not have to be explained. It may not have
Yeah.
to be something that goes back to former modalities and processes, former ways of thinkings and beliefs, all right? This is a whole new, this is beyond quantum. This is what the system was designed to keep us from coming to this point, but coming to this point was inevitable because we're souls, and we have done this before, but not like this. This has been the biggest one. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that.
Yeah, that it's the configuration, so when people understand, when we speak about configuration and about, our energy field, and about that use our cellular system is fully amplified and aligning again, that means then we understand the full technology, because this technology is the universal field. So who has the highest sensitivity? Who is sattvic? I would say who is on the highest spectrum of sensitivity is receiving that form already, because when I came here, I was too early. So nobody understood the field. And I was always judged about my highest came, because now I understood how to stabilize that field. because I had to work in the highest sensibility to be embodied. And that's what it is. This is the technology, our sensitivity to everything, to the field, to the energy, to the food, to anything what we have. But the strength is the purity we bring through the heart in order to balance the full essence. So, can I speak some light language?
Sure,
It's here since a long time.
sure.
Wait. Unra ashta enai kura etana sha'ara inai kura etanai ura sha'arai ura nai sha'a kura enai ura hainata hasha ara inai kura e sha'ara I una hei karaitai.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like that the communication is happening. It's not it's not fully we're not fully conscious of the level of mutual communication and collective communication that we're having. It's more of a beehive intelligence. It's moving very fast. It changes from moment to moment. There's a lot of distractions and distortions out there, not just on the global scale. That's nothing actually. It's on the local family scale or your local network and really within ourselves. And this is the point of I feel like what you're saying and what we are all doing, and that thing about the sensitivity and the nervous system and feeling things and your emotions and feelings, that's where it's at. And that doesn't involve anybody else. Like that's where we find the core of the inner verse that we hold within ourselves that like I think we were saying earlier, you were saying earlier, or we were saying on the other show, how everything in my body is reflected out there. Every one of my organs, every cell, everything. It's all in some kind of way we can't really fully understand. And somehow or another, we've arrived to a center point and we're popping out on the other side. And I don't feel like anybody's going to be able to withstand this energetic force. Everybody's going to be hit with it, and everybody's going because it's just that type of force. Like you said, it's like the mother. It's not going to leave anything behind. It will wait with patience and nurturing and compassion and love as long as it has to for the last struggling soul, you know? And she won't take any shit either, so eventually they'll have to come anyway.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's for all what we have to do now, we need really strength, and we need that we unite in the strength and not fight against each other. I am this, I'm that, I'm this too, I'm that too. That's such an old story. You know, like, why don't we respect who is giving us the force to align, in a safe way, like the father and the mother, right? It's just in the higher spectrum of the divine mother and the divine father is just the higher spectrum, which is just the unification energy of the masculine and the feminine, which already had the experience and which already passed through the ego death and through the knowing and through exactly the threshold that you are talking about. So why are we still fighting against this and not actually respecting the ones which are ready to guide, and then the ones which are still healing or which are still understanding their trauma space or which are coming out of the 3D energy field, then it would be easy. And now I'm really sad about many people. They learn just on Instagram or on AI, and then they think they know and they are this, but there's no embodiment. There's no active energy field around that. There's no knowing or experiencing, because that's experience only that
Well, I
we
mean,
can.
yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Sorry, there's a lag. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
look. Every one of them, every one of us is a soul.
Mhm.
Every one of us contains everything that is, was, and will be. And
Mhm.
so we're trying to judge things on the old paradigm from the eyes of the old paradigm, which is really, really our own sense of what we're missing within ourselves. I mean, this is an extraordinary transformation. It's nobody knows how this goes except for the fact that it feels like it's getting better and better and better as long and as we stay in alignment with that and we don't bullshit ourselves, we don't lie to ourselves, we look at everything that comes up within ourselves. That's to me the real gas, you know, the energy, the fuel for this transformation, because it takes a lot. Any of us that are walking in a human body today, nobody I know is walking on water. And so it's come down to this crazy thing because it's everybody's gotten this information from out here. These, you know, the soul family, the monad, the past lives, the different parts of us, but those are all a part of us. And it feels like it's
Yeah.
come down to the conscious, awake, wake. I'm talking about being awake, not asleep like in the bed. Conscious, moment by moment, you're walking in balance within yourself, and stay with me, with equal regard in every way for the masculine and the feminine. Period.
Yes.
Period. No, I
Yes.
mean it. Period. And I don't think anybody's there yet, or at least I don't see it happening. Even the over-identify, I'm not saying to be androgynous at all, because if you have a man or a woman who's fully in their divine gender, they're going to be fully and equally in the other one, and therefore their receptivity to it and what they can offer to the other is the maximum potential. And to do that in the human body is an extraordinary thing because of the fact
Yeah.
that it is going to generate something beyond science and physics and quantum and spiritual and everything, an explosion of new, literally new universal creation energy. And we're doing this in the physical. This is why I resonate when people talk about their channels or their connections or communion with the multidimensional, and they say everybody is so excited about what we're doing on Earth. Like
Yeah.
we're going further than we've ever gone before.
Yes, exactly. That's why we cannot live in the out of body experience, all the time. That's why we get a body here. That's why, being like a starseed or have memories, for many was difficult to accept that the earth field and to be in a body, but that's exactly what it is. We need to conquer every field, every space. We need to understand everything. So that's exactly what it is, the unification of all of us together. The unification of the active movement, of the healing, the everything. So this new frequency can enter fully, and that there's no uh, fear, or there's no pain, the body pain. Everything is changing when you integrate your shadow part as well, because that's a part of us, that's a part of the human, that's a part, as we came here to experience all of that. And now to experience the multidimensional field and to recognize that again and to remember that form as well, but not the opposite actually. Because why we get a physical body and we didn't came as etheric being already?
Because we already did that.
Yes.
That's why.
Before.
Because we already did it. Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, yes.
there's no, you know, you can say that everything that is, was, and will be was all happening at the same time, and there's certain truth to that. But there always is the outer edge. The universal energy never stops moving. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. And so I feel like, you know, what we're doing is we're becoming conscious that we're the outer breath of the mother, the outer breath of that, you know, and we're actually creating, you know, extending the creative abilities of that which has created everything, and doing it each fractal as we are on the front of that wave. And it's the potential, I mean, the things that we talk about today, the Illuminati, the Vatican, you know, no, really, seriously, fuck all that shit. Really, seriously. No, I'm talking about this is not part of our existence. This is an illusion that it's a great design that tricked us all, but guess who's the best person to fool you but you yourself? We're part of this design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when we let go of the resistance to all those boogeymen and all those things outside of us, or these threats that seem to have this power over us, when we stop resisting in the sense that we believe it, then this is the kind of fuel that changes everything. Look at all the people that have had the dark nights of the soul, and all these abilities and channelings and memories have come in, and visitations and apparitions, and these extraordinary developments they've had. But they've also had these huge emotional deep dives, these huge revelations and epiphanies we call traumas. And we've turned this thing, and I really feel like over the next few weeks that we're going to reap what we've sown. But we still have work to do. We're still going down that final stretch. And whatever it is that needs to burn off is the deepest part of the deep. And I know people personally who are going through things very physically, much more than me. And I'm having some issues. But it's like the most deepest blockages we have, implants, whatever you want to call it, concentrated angst and fear and darkness, whatever you want to call it, is breaking up in the body. And that should tell us all something about the level that the level that we've reached in terms of this transformation that we've talked about all these years, which either we were wrong and full of shit, or we really are transforming from an organic carbon-based body to a crystalline light body, or something in between. Something is happening to these bodies regardless of everything that we've been told. And look at all the things that we've overcome, including COVID, including vaccines, and not just the COVID vaccine, because many of us have had vaccines from childhood, and GMOs and fluorides and chemtrails and programming. We've overcome this, and we're overcoming this, and we didn't even know it, the level of our progress. So I feel like this is going to be a heck of a next 2 or 3 month period. Like we're going to find out a lot about ourselves, and I think we're going to come out kind of brand new.
Yeah. This is the breakthrough. This is like I always tell our people here, it's like, no, there's no time now. Now we need to do it. Now we need to be strong. Now we have to walk. Now we are shedding. It's the now. It's, before we had time still to wait, but now no time anymore, because they gave us the full spectrum. And so it's beautiful. So now actually the full fun that just starts, right? Now
I
we
mean,
are
it's like the
actually,
whole element. Time is one of the big constructs, right? Time, really. Time. I mean, that's why it's not an issue. If we look what happened yesterday, there was a mix-up, but we still have the show. So like in other words, like I know I've had this happen to me a lot, because a lot of us can relate, because we do what we do, right? We don't have orthodox jobs. Many of us don't. And, I feel, I got to get up in the morning, I got to do this, and I got to do that. And you don't do it. And then you realize, well, it's still going to be there. And if there's no pressure of a deadline, because, see, that's part of the illusion, a deadline.
Yeah.
It's just like the life. You're born, you be a good kid, you go to school, you get a profession, you work for 40 years, then you retire, in ill health, and then you have to pay for
Get a
your, you
pension.
have to
Oh
pay,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah, then you have to pay, yeah, you get a pension that you don't even collect that much, and you have to pay for your funeral when you go out the door. This is all part
Yeah.
of that I would say that 3D time space structure. And I feel like that the other thing that's going to be very evident very soon is space. The idea of physical distance is going to leave. And I know people that are having these experiences where the consciousnesses, let's say, of non-physicality, which many people listening to this can relate to, but having it for a sustained period of time and having it happen more and more frequently, this is a space that, where you start to see the elementals and you start to see the nature beings and you start to see the other consciousnesses and aspects in family. Excuse me. Throat chakra. You go.
Chakra. Yes. Yes. So actually, that's exactly what it is. We can unify in the multidimensional field. So there's no space, there's no time. Everything is just in this full field of spectrum of the energy, because now we are not anymore that, like, you see how fast everything passes. Like, we lose the hour. We can fast forward with our field, we can shift times, we everything is possible, and everything was always possible, but it wasn't seen. But now it's seen by many, so it's witnessed. So that's the difference, actually.
Yeah, I feel like, most of all, it's very personal. We can have, many of us have been in isolation and solitude. We can have conversations. That's what I do, on the show. But the reality is, it's an individual thing. It's an individual thing, and the universe doesn't miss anything. You can't fake anything. You can't mistake anything. It's a natural progression that we're experiencing, but we're doing it as we're dying. And many of us have died many times in many ways and still continue to do that. But there seems to be less space between the death and the birth. It's like they are literally happening at the same time. So it's weird because you're like, wow, that just happened to me. That didn't feel good, but it's gone because there's another part of you that stepped in. That's kind of how I felt today. As a result of the last couple of days, I walked into this beautiful little Mexican town that I walk into, and it's like 5D, and I always feel so good. But I walked through the town, and I felt like I was in a foreign planet. Yeah, and my
Yeah.
point is that the part that came in, you might say my soul or my multidimensionality, was driving the car, but the car was like shaking, going, "Where the hell am I?" So there's some kind of handoff that you could expect where the soul / multidimensional / higher self voice and consciousness becomes the driver full time, and the human can take a rest and sit in the passenger seat and enjoy the ride. It's kind of like there's a transition within our own space, in our own being, in our, what my friend Franco used to call active consciousness. There's a transition that's happening for each one of us, and we're watching it happening within ourselves and with each other, and it's pretty weird and strange.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's happening to me too. So that's the experience when we upgrade, or in our dream world, or in our meditation, or in just the space where it happens automatically. So then it feels like everything what's 3D, or what's in, like, in the material world, it feels so unreal, because our spectrum is still integrating in this whole new field. So me too. I had like some revelation dreams the last days, which is, when I have them, they're very very precise. So I had them when there was COVID. So I had the spectrum, what was in the vaccine, and then but I never shared these things because it's too, um, actually that's experience of what has to happen to. Sometimes we cannot always interfere in karma because everybody, as you said, is individual and everybody needs to have a spectrum of their own growth as well. So I've seen some things the last days where um, a spectrum. We talked about Illuminati and Masons. All of this is dissolving right now. All of this because the energy is, always only one. And then it's used like this or like that, right? So we, as it was used in another spectrum, we can transform it immediately in the full spectrum of light as well. So everything can be dissolved, everything can be transformed and lived in a fulfilled spectrum.
Yeah, and we're doing it in these in these bodies,
Yeah.
and that's wild. No, that's wild. Like the many different changes that are happening just from the human only. Okay, is like many things in the body the last couple of years. Food, the way we eat, is changing very quickly. The other things that we do, ingest and inhale in our bodies, and the things that we do, these things are all changing. Things are changing. I'm hearing people. I'm having it happen to myself. And again, no judgment. There seems to be that mantra running for me, even for the last 2, 3, 4 years at times, but even more so now. Like with revelations come in, epiphanies come in, awareness comes in, and you go, wow, how could I be so stupid? How did I miss that? Who did I think I was, But there's a greater sense of compassion for ourselves because we're starting to understand the journeys that we've had individually. Forget about everybody else, even though it's the same thing, because everyone that's been through this has been subjected to the same thing. And therefore, anything that's happened in between us, you can erase because it's not even real. It was part of the design. But my point is, in the present moment, which is the most important thing, and what's really happening here, how does it feel as a human being? We know about all the metaphysical stuff. We know about all this stuff. We've talked about it, spirituality, everything. But it's what's happening to the human being. And how does that feel to find out that you feel stupid? You just figured something out that you saw one way, and now you realize you didn't see both sides. You didn't see that. You just saw this, right? So, and it's humility, and it's real, and it's raw, it's transparency, and it's the root, in my opinion, it's the root of the new universal alchemy and magic. It's the root of our new creativity. I think that's why we have these incarnations. Excuse me, because we don't go and do the same thing every time. We always go to expand. And how do you expand? You take everything that you came into the game with, the Akashic, and you add the code you develop when you transform the experience to that. And that creates new Vesica Pisces, new Trinity, new Golden Child energy, expanded level of masculine and feminine and union and everything, So and again, you're not going to hear about this out there, but I guarantee you, if people could really have access, and they may with friends of theirs or sisterhood groups, they know this is going on. In fact, the majority of the sisters that have made up these groups and platforms over the years, they're all tapped into this. And I think the most important thing that this show's brought forth tonight with you is what you said at the beginning and what your previous 2 days was. And the bottom line of that is that now the feminine can come out fully, voice, actions, self, whatever, and that's how it starts. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Do you have anything
Thank
else?
you.
Do you have anything else you want to cover before we get out of
Yeah,
here?
just wanted to talk because to finish what you said, it's about templates, you know. So it's about beholding templates. So when these templates come online, that means that the template of the other human, you know, is activated too. So that means through our own purification process and realigning in this template, that means we are sharing to the others as well because it's rippling, right? So this is actually what we're doing now here on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hell of a party, people. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Thank you so much for coming in. I really enjoyed it. It was an hour of power. Thank you for being vulnerable and transparent and coming in when you've had a rough couple of days. And everybody else, keep your head up, stand tall, keep shining. And we'll be back tomorrow with 2 or 3 shows. And I'll see you on this side, the other side, or both. Okay? You take care.
thank you. Gratitude.
Blessings of peace, love, and grace to you and yours and everybody else.